What is up, everybody? It's Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm back with another full card breakdown. This is for UFC 306 or UFC Noche O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. And man, this is going to be a really good fight card. We only have 10 fights, but it's not about quantity, it's about quality, and we got 10 quality fights. Co-main event is Shevchenko versus Grasso 3, which is going to be awesome. We have Zellhuber versus Ribovics, which is going to be crazy. Torres versus Bahamondes is going to be crazy. I mean, this is a really, really, really good fight card with some really good fights on it. Everybody, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you already have it, and drop a comment if you can to help my algorithm. I'm Cody with Blood Money MMA Bets, and I'm going to be bringing you my breakdowns for UFC, for Dana White, and maybe some other stuff in the future, but definitely these for now. I do it every single week. So if you want to get the content, hit that bell notification, hit the subscription button. I drop all of my bets and extra content at Twitter. The link is in the description. So if you want to check me out there, that's where I post all my extra content. And if you like fantasy, man, football, MMA, whatever fantasy, check out Underdog Fantasy. And if you use my link in the description or my promo code Blood Money, you'll get a bonus up to $250 in bonus bucks that you can use to bet on whatever you want. And that's fun, man. That's where you can go do your over-unders on strikes, significant strikes landed, takedowns, finishes, all that stuff. So, like I said, check that out. Check Underdog out. Check Twitter out. That's where all my bets, recaps, everything's going to be at. Let's get right into this fight card, man, because like I said, this is going to be a very good fight card. It's got only 10 fights, but they're very, very good fights. And the first one is not that great, in my opinion. We got Rolando Rodriguez versus Ode Osbourne. Rolando Lazy Boy Rodriguez is 16-2, currently sitting at -130. 5'6" with the 65-inch reach. Ode Osbourne is 12-7, 32 years old, 5'7" with the 73-inch reach. So you see Ode's an inch taller. He's going to have 8 inches of reach. Rolando Rodriguez, man, good boxing, good forward pressure boxing. He's like Joshua Van, kind of where he comes forward. He'll let you hit him a couple times so he can hit you with some big shots, but he's kind of low output. He's got really good power in his hands. He's got decent wrestling, and he's got really good scrambles. Like on the ground, whether he's on his back, whether he's on top, he's got really good scrambles, really good transitions, and really good cardio and toughness, man. He hasn't fought like the greatest level of competition because he's been fighting, in basically Mexico and all that. So he's got a lot of 0-1s and all that. But recently, it's in the last couple of fights, he's been fighting some people with a little bit more seasoning to him. He lost that fight on the Contender Series to Jerome Rivera back in 2020. I thought he won that fight. I actually bet him in that fight, and he was plus like 300 against Jerome Rivera, and I thought he won. But he fights very, very close. He's not like he's not like the most dangerous guy, but he just beats you down as the fight goes with strikes. Ode Osbourne, he's got decent striking himself. He's long, he's fast, he's very powerful. He's got KO power in his hands. He's got KO power and a flying knee. Pretty good offensive and defensive wrestling, and like okay jiu-jitsu. He's been getting subbed out lately here, but he's been fighting some of the best people in the world, especially jiu-jitsu guys like Jeffal Filo and Asu Alambayev. Man, them dudes were definitely just trying to take him down and grapple him, and they were able to do that. He had that really close split decision win over Charles Johnson, where Charles Johnson came in on short notice, and he was able to get that win. And then Tyson Nam, he's stupid, jumped up into a flying knee and just got countered and put to sleep. It's a tough fight to call because Rolando Rodriguez isn't great anywhere, and he's not really, he's just going to come in and do this and beat Ode Osbourne that way. Because I think Ode Osbourne is going to have the faster, more explosive cardio or striking. I think that he'll probably even have the better wrestling, man. But I can't trust Ode's cardio. I can't trust his heart. I can't trust anything about him these days, So I'm not confident in this. I think Ode has the skills to win this fight, but he's just a dude that I can't back these days. So give me Rolando Rodriguez, and I'll say he gets it done by decision, because I don't see him he's not going to go with the same game plan as Azu and them and just be able to get the easy submission. Next fight is in the men's bantamweight division. We got Raul Rosas Jr. versus Aoriquleng. Raul Rosas Jr. is 9-1, currently sitting at -700. 5'9" with the 67-inch reach, 19 years old. Aoriquleng is 25-11, 31 years old, 5'7" with the 69-inch reach. So you see, Rosas is going to be 2 inches taller, but I don't think he will. I think Aoriquleng is actually like 5'9" or 5'10" himself. He's very tall. So I don't expect to see Rosas having a size advantage. But Rosas Jr., man, he has good striking from what we've seen in the little bits of, like, if he would trust it, it seems like he has really good striking. He started as a striker. The story was going, then he went down to a grappling tournament in Florida and got manhandled, and then was like, I got to learn that, and started doing that. Became really good at that. But he does have good hands. You've seen against Terrence Mitchell, he was able to drop him, then finish him from the mount. But what he really excels in is wrestling and jiu-jitsu. He's got strong wrestling. He can hit you with the double leg. He can hit you with the body lock takedown. Once he gets you down, he takes your back. His back takes are phenomenal, and his chokes are world class because he can choke you with either hand. That's how he's been submitting these dudes, especially like Jay Perrin and Ricky Turcios. He switches hands so quick, and then he don't even need to be fully like under the chin. His submissions are really good, and he's very, very strong. Obviously, we still have suspect cardio as he slowed down against Rodriguez, and we haven't seen him if he can't get the fight to the ground, what he's really going to do against someone decent. But he's fighting Aoriquleng, who does have pretty good striking, decent defensive grappling, decent defensive wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. He has been subbed 3 times, but it's been a little while since he's been subbed. But he hasn't really been fighting other than Johnny Munoz, who's terrible. He hasn't been fighting guys that are really trying to sub him. But like I said, he's got good striking. He's got a fast, powerful boxing. He's got pretty good offensive and defensive wrestling and okay jiu-jitsu. But yeah, man, in this fight, like, the UFC is not trying to build up 31-year-old Aoriquleng here. They're trying to give Raul Rosas a striker that he's going to be able to take down and choke out. And I believe that's what he's going to do here. I believe he's going to be able to get the takedowns on Aoriquleng. And it looks like Jay Perrin or some of these other guys, like Ricky Turcios, who he's just kind of able to dominate and get out of there. And these are just guys that he's going to be finishing on his way to the top. Then possibly go up to 145 because he seems like a pretty big, thick 135er. But give me Raul Rosas Jr. and give me him by submission. Next fight is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Manuel Torres versus Ignacio Bahamondes. Torres is 15-2, currently sitting at like -125, 29 years old, 5'10" with the 73-inch reach. Bahamondes is 15-5, 27 years old, 6'3" with the 75.5-inch reach. So you see Bahamondes, even though I don't believe that Torres is 5'10", he's really tall and skinny. He doesn't look like he's 5'10", but Bahamondes would be a little bit taller with a little bit of reach. Manuel Torres is a wild man. He's got KO power in both hands, sick uppercuts. He's got stepping elbows that you've seen with Nick Mota. He's got KO power in his hands. You've seen against, Frank Camacho. And then against Chris Duncan, we've seen a grappling game that we really didn't know he had, where he took some big shots early on and then was able to and Chris Duncan's got good grappling himself, and he was able to just goon him, man, take him down, take his back, and choke him out. Like, it was just all strength moves. But the dude's dangerous. He does have them 2 weird losses by heel hook and knee bar back in 2019, but I feel like he's definitely shored up that part of his game. But he's just dangerous everywhere, and he goes full go from the opening second. Very durable, KO power in both hands, KO power in his elbows, and then his gooning, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. Like I said, that was a very good wrinkle in his game. But we don't know what his cardio is like, and we don't know what happens when he gets out of that first round with a guy that can actually strike with him and possibly just keep this fight standing. Bahamondes, man, this kid is good. He's a big, tall, long kickboxer. He's throwing both legs, both hands, really good power. He's got some spinning head kick knockouts over Giagos. He hit Roosevelt Roberts with the wheel kick, choked out Rong Zhu, was able to beat up the only person that really, really beat Trey Ogden in the octagon, which was an excellent win. And against Ludovic Klein, he got dropped in the first round, lost that round. In the second round, he was out grappled, or in the third round, he got taken down and kind of lost a close fight there. But Ludovic Klein is a beast, man. I like Bahamondes' his kickboxing. I like his toughness. I like his durability. I like his grappling, offensive and defensive. This is going to be a great fight, but I'm going with Bahamondes. I'm going with the bigger dude with the better striking, with the proven 3-round cardio and toughness. I think that he can not get knocked out by Manuel Torres, and I don't think Manuel Torres just comes out here and goons Ignacio Bahamondes to the ground and just chokes him out. So I'm going with Bahamondes, man. I got to go with the guy that I think can survive the tough first round, come out in the second round and just start putting a pace on Torres and beating him up, stop the takedowns, and then just put on a striking clinic over the more powerful striker. So I'm going to go with the more clean, technical beast in Bahamondes, but it's going to be a crazy, crazy fight from the opening bell. Next fight is a replacement fight. We got Edgar Chairez versus Joshua Van. Chairez was supposed to fight Kevin Borjas, but he pulled out, so Joshua Van steps in. Edgar Chairez, 11-5, currently sitting at +170, 28 years old, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Joshua Van is 10-2, 22 years old, 5'5" with the 65-inch reach. So you see Chairez is going to be 2 inches taller with 7 inches of reach. And this is going to be a tough fight. Both of these dudes are legit tough guys. Edgar Chairez, I like his kickboxing. He throws powerful kicks all over the body, powerful leg kicks. He has good hands with real power, and he's long. His jiu-jitsu, offensive wrestling is okay. His defensive wrestling ain't the best, but he's got really good jiu-jitsu on top or off his back, constantly going for the finish. Very, very, very tough dude with good cardio and very good toughness. Joshua Van, excellent boxing, throws good leg kicks, shows pretty good defensive and offensive grappling. He starts really, really slow in the first round where he comes out and he kind of lets you beat him up as he's coming forward and just getting his reads. And then he likes to take over in the second and the third round. But the kid's dangerous. He's got really good cardio, usually really good durability. I know Charles Johnson, who doesn't finish anybody, was able to finish him, but he hurt him with a big shot and just hit him with the perfect uppercut as Van was going back to like get away from the pressure. He got hit with the perfect uppercut and ended up getting put out. But this is going to be a crazy fight, and I think he stays striking for most of the fight. And it's going to be a very close fight. If you watch Chairez on the Contender Series against Clayton Carpenter, who's a beast, man, he was piecing Carpenter up on the feet, and then Carpenter had to use his grappling the whole time to win the fight. And that could happen here. I mean, I think that if anybody's going to be able to land the takedowns, it'll be Joshua Van. He's going to have to stay safe off his back because we've seen Chairez almost tap out Taira. But give me Van in this fight. I'm going to take Van. I'm going to say that he's going to be able to either he's going to be the one controlling where the fight goes, and I think that his forward pressure in boxing, he can take over in that second and third round as Chairez is starting to take damage and back up, and that he can get the win here. I'm still very high on Joshua Van, even though he took that loss. Next fight is in the women's strawweight division. We got Yazmin Jauregui versus Ketlen Souza. Jauregui is 11-1, currently sitting at minus 550, 25 years old, 5'3" at the 64-inch reach. Ketlen Souza's 14-4, 29 years old, 5'3" at the 63-inch reach. So you see everything's about the same except the fact that Jauregui is a beast, man. Jauregui's got some of the best women's boxing that you're going to see in MMA. Nice tight guard, throwing good punches, good combos. She ends with leg kicks. Beast in the guard, good clinch, good knees, great takedown defense, great get-up game, great jiu-jitsu. We haven't really had to see that yet because she's a big, mean girl that bullies girls around and really just needs to use her striking. Ketlen Souza, she's got pretty good striking herself. She's not technical, but she throws heat. She throws overhand right with some decent power. And you've seen against Marnik, man, she was able to land some decent shots. What I don't like about her is that she has 4 losses, and they're all finish losses. She's been finished by leg kicks by a lower level girl. And basically 2021, she lost to Ariane Carnelosi, who is not a good look, and she was finished by her. And then, Karini Silva, I'll forgive that. But the Marnik Man fight wasn't even that good. She excelled in the first round, and the second and the third started getting closer until the third round where she kind of pulled away when Manuel was just taking too much damage. But, man, I got Jauregui here all day, every day, twice on Saturday, man. I think that she keeps this fight standing, and I think she beats up Souza. Way more technical, way more crisp striker, while Souza's going to be throwing looping stuff. Yazmin's going to have the guard up, hitting her right down the pipe, beating her up. I got Yazmin Jauregui by knockout, and I think the Jauregui is going to be fighting for a title within the next year or two. Next fight is in the women's bantamweight division. We got Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. Irene Aldana is 15-7, currently sitting at minus 130, 5'9", with a 68.5-inch reach, 36 years old. Norma Dumont is 11-2, currently sitting at plus 110. 33 years old, 5'7" with the 67-inch reach. Irene Aldana is a beast female fighter, another Mexican fighter with phenomenal boxing. You've seen her last fight where she was able to counter the leg kicks with just power boxing, where Carol Hossa was hitting her with all them crazy leg kicks. Most girls, I feel like, would have been finished from them leg kicks or severely hurt, had to change up the game plan. But Irene Aldana fought through it and just kept boxing through the leg kicks, eventually putting so much damage on Rosas, she got the finish. Had a decent fight against Macy Chiasson, where she was actually probably losing that fight before the upkick to the liver. But that's a good win because Macy Chiasson is looking very good. Killed Yana Santos, busted her face open, and then ground and pounded her out. Got out grappled by Holly Holm, which ain't a really good look, but that was back in 2020 when Holly Holm was still doing pretty good. She's got a KO win over Ketlen Vieira, and just a pretty tough girl, like good jiu-jitsu off her back. She's thrown up a bunch of stuff on Macy Chiasson. just a well-rounded girl and very, very tough. I can't downplay her toughness enough. Good cardio, been in there with the best in the world and hits very hard. Norma Dumont, who usually fights at 145 and gets 135ers to come up to her, has actually been making 135 and been looking decent, man. Her last fight with Jermaine Durandamy was a good fight where she was able to land some good shots. She got hit with some good shots, and then she was able to get her grappling going for 2 of them rounds to get the win in that third and first round. She was really dominating with that. Had a win where she beat the crap out of Chelsea Candler, beat up Carol Hosa, and has looked good. The Macy Chason fight was split. I did think she lost that, but Macy Chason's a beast, and that was up at 145. But this fight should be really good. It's can Norma Dumont out-grapple Irene Aldana, man? That's the big question here. I don't know if she's going to be able to. I went back and forth. I think the striking should be pretty even, but I'm definitely favoring Aldana, just putting on the jab and the pop. And I'm going to say that Aldana's able to keep this fight standing for 2 of the 3 rounds where she can get the win. But, man, I can't blame anybody for taking Norma Dumont, because if Norma Dumont has decent striking to stand with Aldana, and if she can land the takedown, she's definitely going to get the win. I was looking at Aldana being older. She's 36. You know, it's not really – I'm not going to put her in the 38-year-old mode. So give me Aldana here, but not very confident. Next fight is in the men's 155-pound division. We got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. Zellhuber is 15-1, currently sitting at minus 230. 25 years old, 6'1" with the 77-inch reach. Esteban Ribovics is 13-1, currently sitting at plus 195, 10 with the 69-inch reach. So you'll see Zellhuber is going to be 3 inches taller with 8 inches of reach, and that matters in a striking match. But Daniel Zellhuber's got phenomenal kickboxing, man. He's got good power in both hands. He's very technical, good power in both legs. Excellent switch stance fighter. I can switch stance on a dime. It doesn't matter. Throw a punch, go right to the other stance, and still be looking good. He's got excellent boxing, man. Like his combos are excellent. When these guys like Prado come in and they throw these big looping shots, he hits them with 2 shots, straight shots down the middle, grabs them, hits them with some clinch knees, backs up, resets, and is ready to go again, man. It's beautiful. Like his striking's phenomenal. You've seen it against Giagos, Lando Venata, where he almost finished him. Even on the Contender Series against Lucas Almeida, them dudes were throwing bombs the whole time. And that's another thing that I like is Zellhuber's durability, man. He's taken some big shots against Prado, hit him with some big shots. Lucas Almeida, and he even got hit by Christos Giagos decently a couple times and showed a great chin, man. He's just got good ring generalmanship. I like him against these guys like Esteban Ribovics, who's a phenomenal striker too, but he's not the most technical. He's going to be throwing power with both hands, both legs, good forward pressure in boxing, but he's just kind of throwing stuff out there and hoping something hits. Where Zellhuber, you know, he's technically, this is where the shot's going. You're going to be right there. I'm going to hit you with this right in the mouth. But Esteban Ribovics is a dog. He does have good striking from both stances, from both hands, both legs. But like, I mean, his last knockout was on obviously really awesome, but there's nothing that really sticks out for him, for me, other than some pretty decent striking. Like Loic Radzhabov was able to out-grapple him, land some big shots on the feet, and just like out-grapple him and cardio him, which ain't really the best look. Then against Kamiola Kirk, man, that was a super close fight. So the first round, he clearly lost. He got taken down and lost. Second round was super close where he was taken down, and the striking was really, really close. Kirk was hitting him with some big shots, and then he hurt Kirk, rocked him right at the end of the second round, was able to steal that. And then the third round went back and forth where he was taken down. He was able to get the reversal and then get the win. But you're going life and death with Kamiola Kirk. Is not the best look. And like I said, he was slowing down a little bit in that fight, and it wasn't – like he wasn't near as technical by the second and third round. He was just landing bigger shots. I got to go with Daniel Zellhuber here. I like his size. I like his reach. I like his height. I like his striking style. I like the fact that he's way more technical than Ribovics. He's got the chin to deal with Ribovics, and he's got way better cardio. And I think as the damage builds up, Ribovics will be slowing down. He's going to come out in the first round throwing all kinds of crazy stuff, and Zellhuber's going to have to be careful. But as Zellhuber's missing and blocking a lot of that stuff and hitting him with big shots, it will start wearing on Esteban. I see Ribovics being super tough and not getting finished. So give me Zellhuber by decision. But man, that's he could hit Ribovics with something big. I mean, you've seen him bust Prado's eye open. I had the over 2.5 or 1.5 in that, and I was just hoping it didn't get stopped from that cut. But great fight for sure. Next fight's in the men's. What is that? Jesus. The men's featherweight division. We got Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopes. Brian Ortega 16-3, currently sitting at plus 155, 33 years old, 5'8" with the 69-inch reach. Diego Lopes is 25-6, currently sitting at minus 180, 5'11", 72-inch reach, 29 years old. So you see Ortega is going to be 4 years older, but Lopes is going to be 3 inches taller with 3.5 inches of reach. Brian Ortega, man, is an excellent fighter. He's got excellent boxing. He's got decent leg kicks, but he's got excellent boxing with pretty good power, with really good forward pressure. He's gotten good wrestling that we've been getting to see more and more lately in his fights against like Yair, in the second one mainly. He had some moments in the fight with Volkanovski, but he has good wrestling, and then he has world-class jiu-jitsu, very heavy on top, and he's able to get the finishes on guys like Yair and different guys that go to the ground with him. Guillotine choke Cub Swanson, guillotine choke Renato Moicano, which is a good win. Then we're all back at 145. But since he's been fighting recently, like Yair and Volkanovski and Holloway, man, he's shown a lot more of his striking, and his striking's getting better. He took some big shots against Yair, was able to eat them and keep going. But like I said, well-rounded, great boxing. He'll have the better wrestling here, and he'll have the better jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. Diego Lopes is a phenomenal striker as far as like explosive with KO power. He's got sick uppercuts, sick knees. He throws like awkward looping shots, man, that just hit people and hurt them. You've seen against Sadiq Youssef, Pat Sabatini, Gavin Tucker. These are all dudes he was able to hit and hurt and make them shoot in and take bad shots. Gavin Tucker, he would hit with a couple shots, and then Tucker shot in, and that's when he was able to hit him with the armbar, triangle armbar. Evalev, he put him in a bunch of crazy positions. He kept grappling with him. And then the Dan Ige fight. Now, the Dan Ige fight is the thing. Like, well, if you go back and watch, okay, so Diego Lopes on the Contender Series against Joe Anderson Brito, well, he gets taken down, controlled, and beat up that whole fight, where in the end, I think it's like an eye poke, and they end up having to go to decision in the third round because he couldn't continue. So he gets beat up there a little bit. Fights another dude, I believe Nate Richardson, right, on the regional scene a little bit after that, and gets beat there too. Where was it? Yeah, Nate Richardson right after the Joe Anderson Brito fight, where he's taken down, controlled, can't get his submissions off, and ends up getting beat, man. He has a gas tank problem. I don't care. He slowed down bad against Danny Ige. Danny Ige took that fight on 1 day notice. Diego Lopes was dead in the third round. Like, Ige almost finished him. And Ige, unless he knocks you off one punch, doesn't really overwhelm you and finish you. But Lopes, man, was gassed by that third round. And the second round was very close. Obviously, he won the first round. Ige didn't do much, but that gassing don't sit right with me, man. In this fight, I'm taking Brian Ortega. I know a lot of people's going to be mad about that, but like, I feel like Ortega has the striking to not get knocked out and the durability to not get knocked out by Diego Lopes. I feel like Ortega's the one with the wrestling to be on top. And then I feel like Ortega's got the jiu-jitsu to stay safe here. So, and he's got the way better gas tank, going 5 rounds numerous times with Volk and them. So, yeah, I'm taking Brian Ortega here. I think he survives a tough first round, just like he did with Yair. Because, like, is Diego Lopes a better striker than Yair? I don't think so. I mean, he might be close, but they're both throwing heat, and like Ortega survived that. I think he survives Lopez' tough first round. I think he takes over, and he may be even able to get a finish in that third round. So give me Brian Ortega. He's still only 33. It's not like he's 37-year-old or something like that. So give me Brian Ortega to get the win there. Next fight is in the women's flyweight division. We got the third fight between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. Alexa Grasso, 16-3-1, currently sitting at minus 120, 31 years old, 5'5" with a 66-inch reach. Shevchenko's 23-4-1, currently sitting at plus 100, 36 years old, 5'5" with a 65.5-inch reach. So you see everything's the same except the age, where Shevchenko, she's halfway to 37 years old, you know, and that's just not really a good look these days in MMA. But Alexa Grasso, great boxing. She's got some of the best female boxing. If you notice a trend, I've said that about 3 girls on this card, and they're all from Mexico, because we know Mexicans traditionally have some of the best boxing in the world, men or female or anybody. Mexicans have some of the best boxing in the world. And you got Aldana, you got Jauregui, and now you got Grasso on this card, man. And all 3 of these girls have some of the best boxing in the UFC, period. But she's got excellent boxing. Her grappling's catching up with her boxing, but she's got good power in her hands, man. You've seen against Valentina, she was able to drop her in the last fight in the second round and almost got the finish there, was able to get on top of her, land some big shots. But she's improved her grappling, her jiu-jitsu so much. At 31 years old, she's only going to be getting better each fight, you know, like she can actually be making improvements, where Valentina is almost 37. It's like I feel like she's going to be trying to more maintain what she has than to actually add new wrinkles to her game. But yeah, man, Grasso's striking's phenomenal. Her clinch knees are excellent. Her choke game is ridiculous. You've seen that in the first fight, and she almost finished Shevchenko in the second fight 2 different times. I thought she clearly won the second fight. She almost finished her in the second. She won the fourth, and then in the fifth, she almost finished her. So I thought she clearly won that fight. Coming back to this fight, 7-8 months later, Shevchenko, she still got some of the best striking in the game, crazy spin kicks, excellent boxing. But for some reason, she don't really want to stand with Grasso. But she does have excellent wrestling. Her body lock takedowns are great, and her jiu-jitsu is excellent. The only problem is like the first fight, she was able to land some takedowns on Grasso and get some control time and all that, but you could see her slowing down as the fight went. And then in that fourth round, when she missed the spin kick and Alexa finally got the win, like I had a bet on Shevchenko in that fight, and I could slowly see her slowing down. And if the grappling didn't work, she was going to get beat. I didn't see the chokeout coming. In the second fight, same thing. Grasso landed the way bigger shots on the feet, and then Shevchenko was able to get some takedowns, but she wasn't able to really do anything with it. In this fight, I expect Grasso to even get even better since the second fight and be able to stop the wrestling, where Shevchenko is not going to get better in the striking to be able to beat Grasso in the striking. I like Alexa Grasso here. I'm going to take Alexa Grasso, the younger fighter, to be able to get the win here. I'm going to say that she's able to land the bigger shots. I think it does go to decision just like the last fight, but I think that Grasso has the way bigger moments and clearly wins 3 fights this time, or 3 rounds out of the 5. Thought she did last time, though. Main event time, Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili. Sean O'Malley is 18-1, currently sitting at -120, 29 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. Merab is 17-4, currently sitting at +100. 33 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. Sean O'Malley, man, one of the best strikers I've ever seen. I wasn't sold on him at the beginning of his career. He don't come out like most UFC fighters. He's got the dyed hair and all this different stuff, but the kid can fight. The kid can fight. His hands are some of the best hands I've seen in the game. He's got them excellent step-in knees like he hit Cheeto with in the last fight. You've seen against Petr Yan, where he was able to land a bunch of big shots on Yan, hurt him once. Yan hurt him. Thing I didn't like there, though, is Yan took him down 6 times in that fight. Comes back against Sterling, though, and knocks Sterling out. But Sterling didn't even try to wrestle him. That was kind of crazy. But he's movement and his feints keep these wrestlers off him. Like, it's hard for them to just shoot in, because Sean O'Malley has some of the best feints and just movement in the game. He's constantly showing you something, doing something, and then when he hits you with stuff, it is accurate, it's precise, and it's got real power in it. He's definitely just a crazy fighter, man. I can't wait to see more. And he's big. He's huge for this division at 5'11" with the 72-inch reach. Cardio seems to check out. He went 5 pretty hard rounds with Marlon Vera, and was able to just keep up a pretty crazy pace. Towards the end of the 5th, he got hit with a body shot and he kind of slowed down. But in that striking match, he did look good, and he did look really good against Petr Yan. He didn't win that fight. Like, there's no way. Like, I watched that in Petr Yan. There's like an argument for 30-27 for Petr Yan. But he took all of that momentum from that, man, and got it to a world title. And now, he's on top of the world. He's fighting Merab Dvalishvili, man, who is one of the craziest fighters that I've ever seen fight. That fight with Petr Yan, where he shot 49 takedowns and landed like 16 of them, that was crazy. His striking's good. His catching up. Like, he can get hit. We've seen him get rocked by Cejudo. We've seen him get rocked by Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes. But, man, you've seen the guy can't get put out. Like, even when Ricky Simone put him out with that guillotine at the end of the 3rd round, like, the time ran out, his feet were still moving, even though his body was unconscious. Like, it was freaking crazy. And then, yeah, he's gotten hurt by Aldo and them, but it's never like he's out. He just gets rocked, man. And that's going to happen when you're fighting fucking Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, and Cejudo and Petr Yan, who throw big shots. But Petr Yan wasn't able to land anything. But his striking's getting better, man. He showed really good leg kicks against Petr Yan, where they were exchanging them, and then Yan's the one that got hurt, had to switch stances. And then his wrestling's on another level. Like, he's just throw punches, reach down, grab a leg, come back up, throw punches. Like, his pace, pressure, everything is the craziest I've ever seen. I said it, man. After I had a bet on Petr Yan. After that Petr Yan fight, I said, I'm never betting against Merab Dvalishvili. I'm never betting against this guy, because I've never seen a fighter like that. I've seen fighters like Sean O'Malley, who's got like the craziest, smoothest striking, and they're sick as fuck. And I love them guys, like, like Ian Gary or something like that. But when you get a guy like Merab, like, not even like, I mean, not to say Khabib's, he's better than Khabib, but like he pushed the same type of pace, if not more than Khabib. And Khabib was the one shooting 25 takedowns and throwing nonstop strikes. So Merab's like the little version of Khabib, man. And I'm not picking against him until I see somebody beat him. Like, I mean, I granted back in the day, but I've seen O'Malley get beat. But Merab in the last 7 years, man, like he's on another level. And like the striking, obviously it's going to be O'Malley all day. But if Merab can start getting his game going where he's just taking down, stand up, taking down, and put a pace on O'Malley, I see O'Malley losing sting in his shots, and losing a little bit of sting in his confidence and stuff as the fight goes, because Merab does that to people. And I think Merab, with Petr Yan landing 6 takedowns on O'Malley out of like 15, if Merab shoots 50 takedowns on O'Malley, I feel like he's going to land 15 of them and just wear on him. So it's either O'Malley by knockout or Merab by decision, because that's another crazy thing. Merab's got like 13 decision wins out of 17 wins. 13 decision wins out of 17 wins. So he's not going to finish O'Malley. So I mean, you can either bet O'Malley by KO, because I don't see him just like constantly winning the rounds, unless he's landing the big shot, or Merab by decision. I'm going to take Merab. I'm going to take him by decision, but I'm not very confident on that because Sean O'Malley, like I said, is one of the best strikers that I've ever seen in my life. And the kid is good and he's huge for the division. But it's like I said, I cannot go against Merab after that Yan fight. I said I'd never do it, and I'm not going to do it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to be betting Merab, but I'm just saying I'm picking Merab and kind of hope he wins. But this is like the biggest fight at 135, man. These dudes are the 2 biggest names. After this, it's like you got Umar and all them guys coming up, but I'm not as excited as I am for this fight. I appreciate everybody checking out this breakdown for me. Like I said, man, check out all my stuff on Twitter. That's where I post all my betting slips, everything. So check me out there. Everybody, good luck this weekend. I hope everybody kills UFC Noche, and hopefully this is the card they say it is, where it's like the sporting event of the century, where it's going to be crazy on the screens and all that. So I hope it's awesome.